Welcome back to my channel, gamers. Today, I'm going to bring you a video of my favorite FPS games of 2022, and boy, am I excited. Now, I do need your help on this one. I want to hear from you what your favorite games were, and if you agree or disagree with some of my rankings. The games we're going to cover today are Overwatch, Warzone, Fortnite, Valorant, and Apex. We're going to lay some ground rules for the rankings. Keep in mind, this is a system that I came up with. This system is really for the casual gamer. As I work a full-time job, come home, I can only play maybe 2 or 3 times a week for a couple of hours and then on the weekend. So keep that in mind. This will not align with some of our more competitive or pro players that are playing these same games. So if you are that, I would love to hear some of your thoughts, okay? So the scale goes like this. The first one, and I think the most important one, is going to be fun factor. So how much fun do we have playing it? The second one is going to be the difficulty. How hard is it to pick up this game and really get going, right? That's going to be important. The third one is going to be ranking and or the ranking systems. So how do we move up the ranks? The fourth one and the last one is going to be the pro scene, which is really the pros and the community all in one. Didn't really have a good word for that, but that's how we're going to be ranking it. And then the last thing is we are going to include the release date, as I think this will have some bearing on the game itself. However, I do not use that for a ranking. All right, the first game we're going to talk about is Valorant. And Valorant, to me, is the most difficult game on this list. And we're going to start with fun factor. So fun factor is a 3, right? It is a fun game. A couple drawbacks is each one of the maps takes forever, or what seems like forever, especially if you're going 13 to 12. The games can last 45 minutes to an hour, which can make it real difficult to really stay engaged throughout that. There's a lot of downtime in between, but it does require a lot of skill, right? And I think that that's important, but for somebody that's a casual gamer, it is hard to pick up, and it does seem to be a lot of toxicity from the community, especially if you don't know what you're doing and you're getting matched up with some folks that have a lot of hours and do understand what they're doing. They're not really apt to help you out. And I noticed that in CSGO as well. And that's just from my perspective. But if I'm not playing with friends, it's not really an enjoyable experience. So here's my rankings on Valorant. So from a fun factor, I would say it's a 3. When I play with friends, it is a lot of fun. When I play with randoms, it's not. Difficulty, I rank this a 1. Now you're thinking, why would it be a 1? So on the scale, the harder the game is, the lower the score they get. So this is the hardest game on this list, so I rank it a 1. Now, on the flip side, from a rank standpoint, I rank it a 5. And the reason why I do this is because Platinum puts you in the top 15% of gamers in Valorant. So just think about that. Platinum, and you're in the top 15%. It is so hard to get to Radiant in this game. And for that, I ranked up there pretty far up. Now, the pro scene and community, I rank this a 2. There is a lot of cool pros to watch, like Shroud and It's Timmy. Even Ace coming over from Apex, watching him sometimes. But again, the community itself outside of the pro scene is just not super inviting for somebody that's new. At least that's been my experience so far. So my total for Valorant is a total of 9. All right, let's cover Warzone now. Call of Duty, fan favorite for sure. It's definitely something that's going to hit pretty hard, and it is something that most gamers most likely started out with, either this or Halo. For some of the older gamers like myself, it might have been 007 back in the N64 days. But Warzone, from a fun factor standpoint, it's definitely a 4. You can play this with friends. You can play this with randoms. You can still have a lot of fun. I ranked the difficulty a 4 as well. And this is because it's very easy to pick up and go, whether you're on mouse and K or controller. You don't have to learn a lot to be able to play the game. Now, I'm not saying you're going to be playing at a high level at this point, but you can jump right into it and have some fun. Rank system, I would say I rank this probably a 3. Now, Diamond 3 puts you in the top 15%, so it's really built for casual gamers here. I do think that that is a good ranking system for somebody of my level, but I did rank it a 3 because much like Valorant, or I guess it would be nothing like Valorant, where it's a lot harder and you hit Radiant, you've really accomplished something. Hitting Diamond 3 here is definitely an accomplishment from a casual standpoint, but it really doesn't set you apart from a lot of gamers. But I still think it's a good system. And then just the community and pro scene, I think, are, I rated it a 3. A lot of this has to do with some of my favorite streamers. Watching Nick Merckx play when he's not playing Apex. Aiden doing some of the wagers is fun to watch. And then the community itself. When I drop solo, I tend to get pretty good vibes when people do use their microphone. They're pretty understanding and or they're willing to teach you some things. And then the release date on this game, right? March 10th, 2020. Not super old, still having a lot of fun with it. I know that with the new game, Modern Warfare 2 coming out, a lot of people are going to transition to that. But overall, a solid game for Warzone, and I rank this a 14 overall. All right, let's go to Fortnite. So Fortnite, I'm going to start backwards on this one. This is probably the oldest game on my list. It came out on July 21st, 2017. And I rated this a fun factor of 5. So let's get right into it. This game, when it first came out, gave me the giggles. When I was playing with my friends, I would go hours of just laughing and laughing with some of the things that happened in the game. Some of the weapons that were there, and even in the beginning with the building, right? It was a lot of fun. You'd see like single structures and, you could box yourself up and use a ramp and things like that. It was just a lot of fun. And I felt like that fun went away when people started getting really good and started building towers in every fight. However, I still rank it a 5 because I think Fortnite made the best decision and come back out with the no build mode. I started playing Fortnite again. I switched from controller to mouse and keyboard to play this game, and I am having just as much fun as I was having in 2017 without having those builds. So I have to give Fortnite a 5, and I think it's worth it. Next is difficulty. I think if you play no builds, the difficulty, I give it a 4 because it's easy to jump into. You can play with mouse and keyboard. If you came from console, you can play on controller, and it's pretty smooth and pretty easy, and the matchmaking seems to be pretty fair, right? You can get kills even as a newbie going into these games and have a lot of fun. May not be competitive, however, you're going to go in, you're going to have a lot of laughs with your people, okay? Ranked, I give it a 3, but I do like the ranking systems here. It's a little bit different. It's built in divisions, right? And as you work your way up, if you can get into the Champions division, you can compete for money in some of the tournaments, and I think this is great. I do like the system. I think that it does require a little bit of time to get there, and I don't know that as a casual gamer, if I'd be willing to put that kind of time to get that good. And let's be fair, I might not even be that good to get into some of those divisions, even with the practice. So I just don't know if it's worth it. So I gave that a 3. Now, the pro scene and the community, I rank this a 4 for a couple of different reasons. One, from a pro scene standpoint, I think Fortnite really put streaming on the map. And one could argue, streaming was pretty big before Fortnite came on the scene. I definitely agree with that, especially with League of Legends, Dota. Destiny was up on the directory for a long time. But when Fortnite hit, I still remember watching that first time Tfue and Ninja met in a game, and I was watching it from Tfue's perspective, and it was a good fight. And then you fast forward and Ninja kind of blew up. He got to play with Drake. I watched that That was a lot of fun. And then Fortnite just kept reinventing itself with not only celebrities, but a lot of the big streamers. And a lot of these folks blew up, right? I don't know if you remember, but Myth kind of running circles around Summit. That was something I was watching live and I thought it was pretty cool. Kind of put Myth on the map in my perspective. Watching CDM the Third and High Distortion, like the scene was really stacked. And the people I would play with randomly and with friends, they always seemed to have fun. Like there was not a lot of toxicity that was going on in the game. And this was really built for the casuals and the competitive scene. And that's not easy to do. But overall, I rank Fortnite a 16. If it was still in its early days and we were ranking this in 2017, this would definitely be a 19 or a 20. All right, let's go over to Apex. And Apex, I am a little bit biased to this game. This is the game that I main right now. I play a little bit of Fortnite. I play a little bit more of Overwatch, and I just dabble in Valorant and Warzone. So I'm going to start out with Fun Factor. Fun Factor for me is a 5. I jump into Apex, whether I'm playing a limited time mode or I'm playing ranked. It's a lot of fun. And then when I get with my friends and we're just playing pubs, we can have a lot of fun with that as well. We'll try new things and, just not take the game so seriously. If we go down, we go down. We'll hot drop. We'll redrop 4 or 5 times in 15 minutes if we have to, right? Just to have some fun, try some new weapons. And I really think it's built for that. Difficulty, I give it a 3. It is a little bit more difficult than the no builds from Fortnite, and trying to figure out all the ultimates and the abilities. That can be hard for a newbie coming on, but just the straight run and gun is still fairly easy. So, I give that a 3. The rank scene, I think ranked here, I really like the way that it works. It does require some grinding. And if you are fortunate enough to hit Apex Predator, which I have never, the highest I've been is Masters in PS4 lobbies. And I'm just starting to work on my PC lobbies. I started a couple of weeks ago, so my idea is to get to Diamond. But it's definitely one of those rank scenes that changes quite a bit. And that for me makes me rank it a 3. If it stayed consistent, I might rank it a little bit higher. I do like the fact that there's only so many Apex Predators, right? 750. So you can see who the best of the best are. But there's still an opportunity to get into Masters. And those players are great, right? They know what they're doing. They keep the game, the competitive integrity going. And for me, that's pretty important. And then the last thing, the pro scene and community. For the most part, other than playing some games where you're solo queuing and people aren't using their microphone, or even seeing some of the things like the clip from King Richard the other day where there's just some unfortunate players in there that, have some unfortunate views and you're going to get some of that toxicity and they really don't have a place in this game. I would say the pro scene is stacked and, some really wonderful players out there, not only from a skill standpoint, but just from a personality standpoint, right? Like, yeah, I watch a lot of Sweet Dreams, very fun to watch, very interactive with his community. I love when he's dropping in solo and takes the time to try to teach players what they could be doing. I like watching Hal, obviously, fun to watch when TSM's playing, Velhurst, Reps, watching Rogue, watching Abrielli. A lot of these gamers, they're fun to watch. And, they keep the toxicity pretty low. No one could argue Hal's pretty toxic. I don't think he is. I think there's a lot of passion there. And I think that his expectations are high. And if you ever notice, it's never a personal attack when he's given feedback. And that goes to say for most of the Apex streamers and pro scene and ALGS, they're really good at providing feedback without taking it to a personal level. Happens from time to time, but for me, I think it's good to get healthy feedback, especially when it's not personal, because it's something that you can work on. And this game came out February 4th, 2019. So it's still going strong and it's been out for a couple of years. I didn't play it the first full year. I did dabble in it a little bit, but I really started enjoying it in 2020. And from time to time, I'll take a break from it and then go back to it. It's just that much fun. Okay, last but certainly not least is Overwatch 2. Now, I'm going to start out by saying I never loaded up Overwatch 1. I don't know why. I didn't have anything against the game by any means. I was just caught up in Fortnite at the time and then transitioned over to Apex. I did watch a little bit of Overwatch. I watched some smaller streamers like Poshy, who was really fun to watch. He came over from Destiny. And obviously watched a little bit of Tim the Tatman, which was kind of fun to watch, but I never really got into the game and really got into watching high level Overwatch. I did watch some League play back in the day, and that was fun to watch, but I will tell you the fun factor of this game is definitely a 4, and it's teetering on a 5, right? The only thing that keeps it from being a 5 for me is just understanding the game, and that's going to come with time, understanding where I'm getting shot from and what the angles are. There's a lot of height in the game, and I compare that to Destiny when I started playing that. I had to get used to where the angles were, and the game became a lot more fun when I understood how all of that worked. Difficulty, I ranked this one a 2, and the reason being is this is a difficult game. You really got to know what's going on, and you got to know the abilities of your character and how to play them to really make an impact on the team. And you can really grief your team pretty quickly if you don't know what you're doing. I've been fortunate enough because the players I've been playing with really understand the game and can really support me and not necessarily get griefed when I'm not playing super well, and I thank them for that. But it is a difficult game to learn, and it is going to take some time. The rank system, I rank this a 3. Now, in all reality, this should be a 5 because I think it is the best rank system in competitive gaming. The only reason why I'm giving it a 3 right now is because there's some reports of Grandmasters being hard stuck in bronze because of the glitch in Overwatch 2. And for me, starting out at a low level, even in quick play, when I'm going up against people that have had thousands of hours in the game, sometimes does not give me the ability to develop. And that can be very difficult, right? And this will definitely move up to a 5 when everything is kosher and moving very smoothly as a game from a rank system. I love the fact that they make you get 50 wins before you even go into ranked. I think this is going to cut down on cheaters, and, correct me if I'm wrong. Leave me a comment down below. I would think there's far less cheaters than we see in some of the other FPS games. People have to grind to get there, and it really makes you have a basic understanding of the game before you go in and play with other players that are trying to be competitive. I have not made it into competitive yet. I still have 20 more games that I need to win, and I'm looking forward to it. And really, I'm looking for a team that is on my skill level. That bronze skill level, has never played Overwatch, and kind of move up the ladders with that type of team so we can learn together. I would also say the pro scene, I definitely give this a 5, and for the community for 2 different reasons. A lot of pros play it. I've been watching it a little bit more on Twitch and YouTube, and it is fun to watch when they know what they're doing, and most importantly, they have their aim down, because you can see, what the strategy is and the confidence that comes behind it. But what really makes it a 5 for me is the community. The community in Overwatch has been one of the most welcoming communities that I've had an experience with. From the people that I play with, that I'm comfortable with, super understanding and taking the time to explain the game to me, and understanding that I'm probably not going to play well. Not once have I ever gotten any backlash or any negative criticism or any personal attacks for when I'm not playing well. And then, the community itself, from players that I haven't played with before or who have watched my gameplay, to take the time and really give some constructive criticism and to give ideas and tips and tricks, everything from settings to what my positioning should look like and how to get my aim better and spend some time in the firing range and practice certain things like that. It takes time to even articulate, and it might seem pretty easy, but there's a lot of communities that people don't take the time to do that for new players. And it is just an overwhelming sense of welcoming from this community. So overall, I rank the game a 14. But easily this could be a game that's going to be ranked higher with a couple more months of playing. All right, gamers. So like I said at the beginning, I really want to hear from you. I want to know what your favorite game of 2022 was. And I want to hear if you had a game that wasn't on this list. And if you did, tell me why. Maybe I'll go and play it, or maybe I have played it. But I would definitely love to get some comments down below that, spark up a little bit of a debate on what games out there that are good that maybe I didn't cover here. So again, I'm going to leave you with this. These are my picks. These are my opinion only based off of my experiences and the type of gamer I am, a very casual gamer, right? But I had a lot of fun in all the games. And again, there's some games out there that I still have fun with, like Destiny, Halo from time to time, even started dabbling in PUBG a little bit. But I don't think that those games compete with the 5 games that I covered here. But again, let me know your thoughts. I would also like to hear what types of videos you would like to see in the future. I am working on my video editing skills, and I am having a lot of fun with the suite in that. And then also I love gaming, so I'm going to continue with the gaming content. So to all my legends out there, my heroes, my soldiers, and so on and so forth, until next time, I will see you in the arena.